disclaimer for the video! Please do not target or harass anyone mentioned in this video. They do not need to be harassed, even though if they truly deserve it, or anything in beyond that. Please do not harass anyone mentioned in this video. This video also has mentions of a lot of trigger things, such as a lot of weird fetishes, emotional abuse, and a bunch of shit that is made for jokes. Don't harass anyone mentioned in this video! I swear to God, if I catch you witch hunting people, I'm going to explode your house with combustible lemons. But please, do enjoy the video. At your own risk. Thank you. As much as I put this situation behind me and how much of an annoyance that it was to me, other people around me, and a few ex-members in the older version of the Hangout Hut, it's sad to say that this person hasn't been acting her age since she's around the same age as me. And it's extremely sad to see her not changing after all of the things that I've been through with her. Ricka, also known as Dovey or Ricka the Cooper fan, is your ordinary artist that has great art, I do have to say. But when it comes to situations such as this, it's no surprise that she's a little bit of an annoying person. Though I should say, a manipulating, guilt-trippy mess. I did make a video on the situation in the past, but knowing how my channel with 21k subs got hacked and hijacked within the process, it's nowhere to be found. But I still have the video with all of the evidence on it, along with me saying how much of a guilt-trippy bitch she was to me, a former member of the Skit Gang, and a lot of other people. Along with blurting out my IRL name to 10 other people that we collectively don't know besides Caddy. Before I continue with this video, this series was going to start off with me talking about the wide amount of lyrical F&F songs out there, like Silly Billy, Twiddlefinger, Rotten Smoothie, etc. But since this topic has been brought to my attention on how Ricka's doing now, I can't help but talk about this. Since it's been brought back up, and I wasn't the only one that had to deal with her tomfoolery. Without further delays, I will make sure to keep things brief and talk about my side of things, along with talking about other sides from people of the Flipline Addicts server, aka people who are madly obsessed with the Papa Louie games, such as Papa's Freezeria. I'm not going to be explaining what Papa Louie games are, since they're just your typical flash games that you can play on Cool Math and make food for little characters. But anyway, let's not get too ahead of ourselves at this current moment. I need to tell you guys about what's been going on. So, let's talk about RickaZChan. The most I could say about Ricka is that I met her through DeviantArt, in which is where I met a good chunk of my friends from. Marissa, Caddy, Ricka, you name it, I'll probably know them. The only downside within me and Ricka's friendship is that we weren't friends, but we were in fact lovers. It's shocking to hear me say that considering how shit of a person she is. We were lovers for a good while. The only downside of that whole relationship is that she didn't know the true me, considering my information on DeviantArt, YouTube, and all the social medias I had up were wrong. I do have to admit that I was confused on what gender I was for a few reasons. 1, my voice sounds like a dude. 2, I have knockers on my chest, and 3, I wore nail polish back then when I was still making plush videos. The most notable thing about this whole ordeal is that I used to go under he/him pronouns before switching to she/her pronouns after the cat was let out of the bag. A thing I'd like to bring up was that Ricka and I did a lot of roleplays with each other. Most of the roleplays had to deal with my character CJ, who was just the Sans version of me. He went through a lot of redesigns too. The first design I gave him was inspired off of one of the source filmmaker models you can use for SFM. I'm not too sure why I was inspired off of that model specifically, but I went along with it. Another thing is that he had stripes on the back of his head and depicted what mood he was in. Yellow depicting lust or love, orange depicting sadness, green and red combined depicting Christmas for whatever reason, and green depicting psycho, which is one specific AU idea that Ricka had in mind. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Speaking of, Ricka had the most unhealthy obsession to CJ. Like I do with Blake. But fucking Christ! She would just go left and right with all these ideas, forms, headcanons that aren't just headcanons to her for CJ, despite him not being her character at all. First of all, she makes a vampire version of CJ, a zombie version, a mermaid version, a psychotic version, a neko, a bird. Hell, you could pull a version of CJ out of your ass, and she'll probably make that if she wanted to. That's not the worst part, though. There's a lot more. So, for those who are really squeamish about what I'm going to say, please mute this part of the video, or skip to this timestamp, because I don't want you guys losing your lunch out of your stomachs. So, did you know that Ricka and I did a male pregnancy roleplay through DeviantArt notes?
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
The whole roleplay was just Ricka wanting to do an mpreg roleplay with CJ for some reason. And it was highly disturbing. Not even kidding. There were times where I wanted to stop roleplaying, but I just kept going!
Medicine told me that Alphys made you pregnant by performing a male pregnancy experiment thing.
What? You mean I am a seahorse?
Sweats a tiny bit. Maybe.
Well, this is awkward. Does anyone have a passport to the ocean? Or at least an aquarium?
CJ is in a large aquarium tank with enough water, not full, just to make sure CJ does not drown.
Oh. Well, this happened. Wait. How the hell am I supposed to give birth if I am male? I am not female.
I don't know.
Weird. Wait. How did? Gasp. How did Purpurgeon get made? How did Polite get made? God. Flippin' Aurora. What is life?
I don't know. This is totally odd.
Yep.
9 months later.
Asleep. Suddenly heard CJ moaning.
Mom's a little bit.
CJ walks towards him. Sees that he got pregnant and his belly looks round and a little big. Is speechless. Is it painful when it grew month by month?
A little bit.
Felt bad for him. Teleports inside the aquarium and is near him.
Yeah?
Rubs his belly slowly.
Purse.
Still rubbing his belly. Something kicks inside of him.
I am highly disturbed by that roleplay, and I hope to Jesus Christ riding a Hot Wheels exclusive from Target that doesn't happen again. Cause that shit was just so uncomfy to the point where I questioned why I even did it in the first place. The only thing I liked about the roleplay is that CJ questioned if he was a seahorse. Because, in reality, the male seahorses give birth to the babies instead of the females. Anyway, I'll tell you more about CJ later, because she does a lot more things to him coming up. Speaking of adding a bunch of sides to CJ, let's talk about the Skeletona that Ricka decided to make for me. I'm not shitting you. She asked me if I wanted a skeleton persona, and I replied with yes. I gave the Sona the name Skylar because it sounded cool, and from there, Ricka would call me that my whole life. I was with her for some damn reason. Knowing that I didn't know what it would look like, without me having a second thought of what it would look like, she made the Skeletona for me. Just then, I finally gave Skylar a design. Literally, it was just her design for him, but I gave him a green jacket with a duck on the back of it, a flowy t-shirt, and baby blue boots with fur on them. That's all I gave him. But as soon as Skylar was made completely by me, she decided to give Skylar the CJ treatment and give him unnecessary items and things on Skylar without asking permission from me, seeing if it was alright for her to add those things on him. One of those things was adding swan wings to Skylar. And knowing me back then, in like my Undertale days, my favorite animal or bird was not a swan. My favorite animal was a tiger. And my favorite bird will forever remain a blue jay or a flamingo. From what it looked like, Skylar was just her character that she wanted to give me. But she wanted to add in her little touch-ups that she wanted to add without asking me if it was alright to do this. It's my character, so I don't see why doing these deeds is alright for you to do it in the first place. Like, what the fuck? It's rude and it makes you look like I don't even own the character anymore. I do plan to redesign him and make him something more than a crappy Skeletona that I had. So expect him to be something else, like a new Doki Doki character, or a Regretivator OC, maybe. I don't know, my call or something. Off topic of CJ, Skylar, or anyone else that had that happen, because there's a lot more she did to my characters. Specifically the Undertale AUs that I had, along with a creator's version of Sans that I really enjoy looking at. Let's move on to the most frustrating thing that I had to deal with.
You could make me yellow like a duck.
Back in 2018, there was a huge blowout within the game called VR chat. Of course, I didn't own a headset back then, but I did start off as a desktop user, and then owned my first VR headset in 2021. Anyway, I used to go on VR chat a lot when it was going big, hanging out with the friends that I've made there, and having a lot of fun with them from there on out. One of those friends being Heavenly Twister, who goes under the alias of Heavenly Wolf or Goat, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure. They were one of my best friends before a split off happening in 2019, making us not friends anymore. But this video isn't about Heavenly, this is about Ricka. During 2018, VR chat was booming. I played it a lot of the time, and would spend most of my time hanging out on the VR chat universe, and chatting with those VR chat friends on Discord whenever I get the chance. Ricka, through DA, wasn't having that, and wanted me to hang out with her. Wanted me to always check up on DeviantArt every once in a while, which I didn't get, so I continued on with doing what I was doing before. You know, me things. During those years, I had dated a person named Mayday, also known as that one Max, as of right now. Also, Max, if you're watching this, I deeply apologize for bringing these times back up. Oops. So, during this whole time, I was dating two people. One being Ricka, and the other one being Max. In that case, I guess I was poly before the relationship I'm in now. Then again, this was back when I was still trying to figure myself out, so I'm not Arrow Ace yet. Date, July 4th of 2018. I was making the third episode of my own plush series called Funny Bone Bros, where Sans and Papyrus collectively get up to a lot of hijinks with each other, along with having another character come in from the game Undertale. Once I was done recording the episode, I was going through the editing process. And since I was editing, my brother, Wag, or Ty as some people call him, was on DeviantArt in the notes section talking to someone. I didn't know who he was talking to, so I shrugged it off and thought he was talking to some of his own friends there, for some reason. Not too long after, my family and I got done with fireworks for the evening, and I got more footage for the episode that I was making, and after I finished editing and started rendering the video, I went to RickaZChan page, and lo and behold, I was blocked. I knew something was up immediately after I saw my brother on the notes section of DA, but I had no idea that he was talking to Ricka. I asked him why Ricka had blocked me, and he told Ricka a little bit about myself than the things I've already told her. He said that he stated the real truth about me. Said that I was born female, and that I was with Max behind her back, which is my bad on not telling her that I was also dating Max at the time. But blocking me because I'm the same sex as you? Huh? Also, I did hear from my brother that he was hesitant to do the deed, so he sat there for 15 minutes before striking the bullet, which is something I do sometimes. So, I'm glad he didn't do it instantly. After all that, a few days later, Ricka had unblocked me and said we could still be friends, which I wasn't too mad about, but a few weeks after that, she had said that she couldn't trust me because the truth has been revealed. After all that shit happened, nearing the beginning of November, October 27th of 2018, a ping was made on the old hangout hut, and it was from Ricka herself. And it said,
"Hey everyone, I'll leave this server soon. This isn't safe anymore. There are just too many gay people. And yeah, I'm the only hetero, so feel free to hate on me, so I'll leave. Go! Make me leave the server."
she pings everyone on the server, exclaims that there's too many gay people on the server, says that she's the only hetero person on the server, and then guilt trips the whole server saying to hate her because she's heterosexual. Excuse me? That's like saying you're the only person who's white and then guilt trip everyone to get racist at you just because you're white. After that ping, another person who was nicknamed WeSands on the server, thanks Heavenly, and didn't want her to leave the server, getting pulled in by that guilt trippiness of the message she put down. Then, she writes this.
"I deserve to be single. I've been abused by gay people."
Like, bro, what the fuck? Then WeSands is like begging for her to not go away from the server. But then the conversation turns and causes Ricka to lash out on people, notably to a person called Phantosaurus. Here's how that conversation went.
"You even remember what I said about me breaking up? And I'm not letting you have this proof."
In that case...
No, don't say it, Phantosaurus. Skylar's server's full of abusive gays, like me.
Hold the phone! Her saying that my server, the Hangout Hut, is full of abusive gays? Lady, I think you got the wrong message here, because most of the people in the Hangout Hut back then were extremely nice to one another, and were okay with you around. You say that the server is full of abusive gays is a new low. Also, the fact that you called Max abusive towards you is shameful, because the only thing that I got from Max when he was abusing you was that the fact that they were all jokes and were being said as a shits and giggles sort of ordeal. Knowing Max, he was never abusive towards anyone in the Hangout Hut. He was just a goofy little teenager that likes to mess around with people for laughs. Caddy comes in and adds a comment to all this. Wow, I'm just sitting here and watching what's going on. This is the reason why I stopped helping people. The conversation continues.
Phantosaurus, she does. She torn my relationship apart, remember?
Wrong. You basically broke up the relationship I had with you. It wasn't Max's fault. Sure, I didn't tell you that Max and I were dating, but that doesn't mean he was the cause of us breaking up with each other. The fact that you blocked me when my brother, out of all people, told you my true gender is extremely laughable.
She really hates me. You know why? She's gay. All of her gay moments with Sky will just force me to leave.
I don't think she did it to make you suffer. She just loves him, that's all.
Did you see May's nickname? She said she's gay. Gay! She freaking hates hetero people and I'm one of them. If only I could have let her kill me IRL.
Okay, now you're just assuming things. Just because Max's name was something among the lines of having the word gay in it, doesn't mean that he hates hetero people. That's like having your name being Martin420 as your username, and then everyone assumes that you hate black people. It's funny how you think gay people automatically hate heteros. A good majority of the skit gang is gay, and we have like, what, 3 people who are heterosexual within the group? Do we hate them? Hell no! Sky and Pink are amazing people to be around. After all of that mess happened, Firedraws, a former user that was in the skit gang at some point, and told her how the things she said was not alright in the slightest. Especially how it was in a public server for everyone, including Max, to see.
I don't want to come back anymore.
I also know that.
I'm just being an asshole being left alone. So yeah, if you really supported May, then don't support me anymore.
Yes, you are an asshole, and I won't support you anymore.
Wow, you really do hate me.
You accused May of abusing you!
I'll never come back.
That's fucked up, Ricka.
You know what? You're right. I'll let May do whatever she wanted with Skylar.
I don't believe anything you're saying right now, Ricka. You say you won't come back, and then you do come back.
No, I meant the server.
Well, still, on DA, multiple times you say you'll leave and never come back.
I changed my mind about leaving DeviantArt for some reasons.
You also said that gays are abusive. What the fuck, Ricka?
Look, I wasn't referring to anyone, including you.
Bitch, you just said that my server is full of abusive gays. The fuck you mean you weren't referring to anyone, including Fire? Also, Fire does have a point on her leaving the server and never coming back statement. Ricka always says that she'll leave some platform and exclaim to everyone that she'll never come back, but then a few days later, she comes back! I swear to God, she has to be. After a few months had passed, Ricka finally gained the courage to talk to me again and claim me as one of her best friends, which didn't last very long because the things she did next was just a cycle of what she did previously. And during our friendship ordeal happening, and I can't believe I'm saying this right after all the homophobic shit she said, she started dating Caddy, who's the same gender as her. Alright, let's just get this part over with. During our friendship that we had together, I had broken up with Max due to reasons I will not explain. You're welcome. And as of now, I remain asexual and aromantic, though I have 3 lovers, but that's alright. That's alright. So she comes to ask me if it was alright to give Anti-Glitch Sans a redesign. For those of you who remember Anti-Glitch Sans, I know it's been 20 years since I mentioned his fluffy ass. I wasn't so sure about the option, so I don't remember if I responded or not since it's been so long. And since I can't look back at the messages, because I moved accounts, they're lost of time. But I do have the video to help me out with all of these screenshots. She makes a redesign of Anti-Glitch Sans, and she makes him more human than skeletal, which, okay. I really don't like all the features added onto him. The wings are badass, but why must you give him hair and an ecto body? Oh yeah, don't even get me started with the animal ears and the hair on a skeleton, by the way. The redesigning stuff doesn't stop there. Here we have artwork from a person who goes by Titoba, or Toba as some say. I personally say Titoba because of the extra T, but who cares. Titoba is and was an Undertale artist that would make comics surrounding by our punny skeleton creature wearing a hoodie. That's been seen on the news because a parent was concerned about her daughter having images on her phone. I love the design that Titoba gives Sans. They make him look all bubbly and looks like he's a little freak. / lighthearted, of course. And I love the colors. I did in fact add this version of Sans in my series called Glitch, in which Classic Sans and Titoba Sans would hang around together and are close friends. But at nighttime, under a full moon, Classic Sans transforms into an anti-glitch, and T falls in love with him. Yes, I know Sans Says is an awful dynamic for these kinds of AUs because it's just Sans getting shipped with himself. I do realize that, but a lot of other people did it, so I didn't hesitate to try it out myself. So you guys know who Titoba is and their Sans is. You wanna know what Ricka does? Who the fuck is Tom and why does Sans have Glitch City for hair? So she redesigns Titoba Sans as well, but it's in the style of Gacha Club, which, yes, I did have consent with the idea about it, but God, I do not like these one bit, if I'm going to be dead honest. All the redesigns that she made of Anti-Glitch Sans and Titoba Sans combined look awful in their own ways. But man, do I have a story to tell you. You guys remember our good old buddy CJ from the beginning of this video, correct? Well, Ricka's at it again, but this time she did the extreme and did something that I'd probably never see before in my life. She redesigned CJ and wanted me to keep the design for him. Oh my goodness. Eating a burger with no honey mustard. Eating a burger with no honey mustard. Eating a burger with no honey mustard. If I'm gonna be dead honest, and I have no shame in saying it anyway, this design sucks! Hell, Patch would say the exact same thing, cause he's a professional at character designs. The shoes look out of place from all the colors surrounding CJ. Same goes for the orange for the tiger-themed arm warmers. And overall, the design looks so busy, and it just looks like CJ doesn't even belong to me anymore. It's like I lended her CJ without any permission to do so, which is sad, because I made this character with my own two hands, and was inspired off of a fucking SFM model. So I superly agreed to have this design for CJ, and Ricka just kept having ideas coming out of her ass like it's Taco Bell, and placing them on CJ like it's her character. She gave him a family that had 3 kids, which was Theo, Tia, and Coda. Theo and Tia were the oldest of the family, while Coda was the youngest. And she also gave CJ a wife named Eleanor. And again, we did numerous roleplays with CJ, along with using the family members that Ricka gave him, and Jesus Christ, they were awful. Awful to the point where it makes Found at the Time of Dawn look memorable in my eyes. That's saying a lot. There was one roleplay where Theo was talking to CJ about how when Theo was little, and I can't believe I'm saying this, CJ would change his diapers, along with putting a flashback sequence of that happening. I am so glad I'm out of the Undertale community. As those roleplays came to a close, I was doing my own things and thought up something in my head that I think everyone should see on DA. I made a journal stating the ages for the Sanses I knew. On the top of that journal, I stated that the ages shown weren't not canon, but it was how I think of how old they are. For example, Sans is 28 years old, and Les Sans is somewhere around his 20s. In that journal, I have posted my Sans AUs on there, ranging from Arttail to Underjewel. CJ, to no surprise, was on there, and is still on there till this day, and I made CJ's age 20 years old, solely because I was nearing that age pretty soon. Since that post was made in 2019, I was 16 years old. Ricka, for some reason, didn't like that and posted on her DA page saying,
Update. Theo and Tia are leaving their father's side and started being alone.
in what way, shape, or form does that give her the right to do that? Because she's a guilt-trippy little bitch, that's for sure. Not even that. When we were still on good terms with each other, she would constantly pester me about CJ's age and how she wanted me to change it to her likings because of the kids being there and existing. Literally, she went to my DMs in Discord and said,
Guy, don't forget about the age journal. Remember, CJ is 42.
like, fuck, do I sound 42? The journal said that these were headcanon ages. They aren't canon to the ages that the OGs are. It's like saying you want Steven to be in his 40s or some shit, and people still think he's canonically a little baby and strangled the shit out of his mic as an infant! Since CJ is just me, but Skeleton Sans Undertale, I just said no in my mind because it's my headcanon, and I say what goes within my own journal. And hell, I probably even said, fuck it, I'll make a canon to make her more upset, because she's being a petty little bitch that wants someone else's character to be a crippling old man in a wheelchair. A month later, after that whole fest of events, I, for one, had school and was just leaving my graphic design class I had in sophomore year and went on the bus to go back to my main school for transportation. During that day, Ricka had came into my DMs and gave me a long ass message.
Hello. Sorry if I disturb you. I know you're busy, but there's something I have to tell you. You may wonder why I never talk to you that much anymore. Our friendship has ended, and this is farewell.
Which, thank fuck!
I'm leaving you alone for 1 year.
November or December 2020? Yeah, that never happened. Lamau!
After Fire scolded me, I slowly stopped talking to you. I've been doing this because I'm putting myself into discipline and teaching myself a lesson. You have a better friendship bond to Fire more than me, and no, I'm not gonna cry nor overreact on that. I learned that overreacting isn't good, and overreaction is caused by fangirling and obsession.
Fire didn't scold you, she told you off because of the things you said in the hangout hut were balls to the walls homophobic. And she thought it was fucked up for you to say that my server was full of abusive gays and pointed Max for being abusive to you when they were just joking around with you.
That's why I ended my friendship between me and you. You changed a lot, and I felt like you weren't the same anymore.
How did I change? I'm just me.
I don't want to befriend you again because of all of these uncomfortable events I've suffered. I feel like ignoring you for 1 year. No, not 24 hours. 1 year, meaning we won't be seeing each other forever for a year once this year is up. We're just strangers who don't talk to each other.
That's a real guilt-trippy thing to say to someone. Fucking Christ.
Don't talk nor vent about this to anyone in public, especially your new best friend. I don't want you to cause drama.
Bitch, the fuck you mean you don't want to cause drama? You just did by wanting me to change the age of my own character that you don't own. Also, Fire wasn't my best friend back then. It was Star and Charms. Sure, we were friends, but that doesn't mean she was my best friend.
And don't beg me to forgive you or befriend you again, because I might overreact and have to lose my interest in you so it will stop. I don't feel like being with you anymore because I may trigger these events and might be scolded again.
Never beg for anyone to befriend me. How old do you think I am? 6? There's kids on VRChat that beg to be my friend, and I'm like, no, you're like 5. That'll make me look bad on my end. So fuck off somewhere else, you little twiddle finger and menace.
Please don't try to interact with me anymore. No venting about this, no crying about this, and no joke talking about this in public. This is for my own good. Fire is a better friend than me, and that's fine. I'm doing this so I can change to a better person.
Are you sure about that?
In a few parts, it'll say otherwise.
If you're reading this, our friendship ends. Please don't try talking nor role-playing with me. I muted my DMs. I won't even see your messages for 1 year. We had a great time together in the past, but now it's over. Goodbye.
What the fuck did I just read? From all of those, please don't vent, talk, or tell anyone publicly pleads, I didn't even do that in the slightest. The only people I told about this was Fire and possibly a group chat with all of the other people. And that was probably it. Also, did I vent to any of them about the farewell message? No! I was just confused on why she wrote out this senior-length ass essay to my DMs, and why she was muting our DMs for 1 year because I was best friends with Fire. Then it clicked. She had the boot up her ass to say that to me solely because CJ's age wasn't changed in the journal about Sans AU ages. That was just a big pile of headcanons. And because it was my headcanon, she didn't like how CJ, me who was just Sans, was 20 years old. Because Theo and Tia were the same age as CJ. Did I change it because of that? No! I had to put my foot down one way or another, and I didn't change the age because it's my character and I can do whatever the hell I want with him. I could shove a sandwich up his ass if I really wanted to. After the confusion of me not knowing what happened between Ricka and I, let's just say that more things happened amongst a group DM she was in with a few other peers of ours. Caddy, Miller, Taro, Lucky, and Alpha. Within that friend group that she had with those people I mentioned, I'll call the group The Pond, she will ping everyone about some events that she'll hold, whether it be in Durgantown or somewhere else on the internet, and then puts down the message to not invite me to come with. There was also an instance where Ricka would say this and have Alpha to back herself up.
I don't feel like playing Durgantown right now. I ended up being alone after SSB hated me, and I was made to be alone and feel like being alone is okay and you shouldn't chat about it.
I have a friend that begs for attention all the time, and also a drama queen either.
Really? Well, I used to beg for attention to SSB, but not anymore. I prefer being silent. Since nobody will come, I'll just play alone and end up being with Wolfie.
Sorry, I got psychic damage from hearing the name Wolfie. The fact that you beg for my attention speaks volumes, because you wanted me to change the age of CJ numerous times, wanting me to check into DA and never wanting to go on VR chat again because I was on it so much, and wanted me to draw CJ's redesign on stream and wanted me to keep it that way. Bro, I couldn't even draw it! Anyway, on January 26th of 2020, the year where my drama with a former friend group happened, Ricka started to lash the fuck out because her grandmother found out about her breakdowns over me.
Well, Grandmother found out about my breakdowns about this farmer friend of mine. I'm so fucking stressed out right now.
That former friend of hers is me, by the way. Ouch.
Oh, this rage made me want to do something worse. Mom also found out about it now. He's gonna fucking eliminate that motherfucking bitch! I'm sorry to take the former friend out, just like WWE. This is war. Sorry, this is my choice.
Whoa, lady! Calm your horses! Calm your bras! You wanted to take me down? Like it's WWE? The hell did I do to you? I don't even know what I did wrong to you specifically, aside from not doing what you were wanting me to do to CJ, a character that's not yours.
It's unsafe to talk to someone I don't know.
It's the internet, what do you expect? Just be an ECW wrestler and hit your formal friend with a steel chair. Tara, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the report button to her.
What are you gonna report me for? Hurting your free wings? Dude, you were quite literally being homophobic in my old Discord server because I was dating Max at the time, and you sent me a really guilt-trippy message in our DMs because I wouldn't talk to you, and I preferred fire over you in your eyes. It's like saying I reported Rainu because she requested a drawing from Mike to draw, but I requested a drawing from Mike to draw, and he just didn't do it and draws Rainu's request instead. It's a stupid thing to report someone for, and it's stupid to think that you should report me for not doing what you wanted me to do to my own character's age. Like, do you know wrestling?
I wanna force a war on her. I am so gonna make her regret having me. I'm gonna make her be with fire only. This is what she wants. This is war.
That's not even close to what happened. First of all, that's not what I wanted. That's what you wanted. Second of all, forcing a war on me isn't going to help either of us, because it's just gonna make matters worse than they already are. Like, dude, also the fact that you haven't name-dropped me yet is insane. Oh my god, damn. Please calm down. Like, hold up.
Mother knows best. Even grandmother.
No send any messages to a stranger. It's very unsafe. I don't want to hear of you having a tantrum at school again. You are 17 years old, not 7. Act your age.
I mean, she said it, not me. The fact that your own mother is saying to act your age is hilarious. You're complaining about someone who didn't want to change their DeviantArt journal about headcanons for skeletons with one glowing eye and wearing a hoodie? Also, the hell is this? Tangled? Sure, okay, don't talk to strangers online or anything, because who knows what will be behind the other side of the screen, but my God! You're making a big deal out of this and telling it to random people we don't know fully, aside from Caddy, who is also in the pond?
She told me not.
Not to any stranger.
Oh.
Yes, she doesn't even reveal her face. What I know is her real name. SSB's real name is... Her classmate said that in the comment section.
Okay, I see the holes in this. First of all, it's my choice if I want to reveal my face or not, and I choose not to, because 1, I don't have a face cam. 2, I don't want to show my face to anyone because I feel really insecure about it. Not saying that I'm ugly, but I just don't want to show my face. And 3, I just don't feel comfortable showing my face. Second of all, you knowing my real name is insane, because you scrolled down in a comment section of a video I made, and you saw one of my school buddies say my name. That's stockful of you to do, my good bitch. Hell, they probably went to YouTube because it's one of my main platforms. And they probably didn't know I had a Discord, Google Hangouts, etc. So they went to the comment section of a YouTube video instead. And again, this was like, what, 7th grade that they sent that message in? We were in 7th grade. We were young, dumb, and hope to God not full of and yet, here we are now. Me in sophomore year, same with you possibly, and I've already moved on from your little farewell message, and you're over there wanting to start a war on me and complaining about me not wanting to change an age of my own character that ain't yours. Asterisk falls down like holy shit, asterisk.
I'm gonna start a fight. She doesn't want me anymore. If she only wants fire, then fine. I'm so fucking mad right now.
I'm not even with Fire, hello? Again, Fire wasn't my best friend back then. It was Star and Charms. And you just wanted to be my best friend just so you can get your hands on my characters and fuck around with them a whole lot. CJ being one of your pride and joys for whatever reason. I'm just not gonna talk. Stop, Ricka. This is getting too far now. Please, and I am serious. If you don't, I have to fly out of the group.
Mom said I'm not allowed to talk to strangers.
Okay, now you're just talking like a 7-year-old. I think your mom was right. Can I befriend your mom? I feel like we have something in common. Slash J, obviously. I was upset with you because you wanted to make this decision in the first place. Things were getting a bit cool now when you were talking about SSB, but this? Holy crap!
She just replaced me. I hate her.
Man, I didn't replace you. What are you, Glitchy Red?
She took everything from me. My CJ, my friendship, my ideas, and she replaced me with some pink and white furry.
You know what? Think about it. Did SSB make any death threats to you?
No.
what I saw is that she changed badly. She said I'm a bitch now. I sadly don't have proof.
I changed badly because I said the word bitch. Love the hypocrisy on you, lady. You called me a motherfucking bitch, so I don't see how that makes this argument even better. Everyone cusses, and yes, even when it is a mistake.
So far as just be saying bitch to each other. Fire scolded me first because of this Nazi stuff. She stole my police role. Second, she replaced me.
Alright, time to explain a bit more. First of all, Fire didn't scold you. She was telling you how fucked up it was that you were being homophobic in a Discord server that I made. Second of all, the Nazi stuff was Heavenly's ideas and jokes, not my doings. I don't know why I didn't stop him to begin with, but man's not friends with me anymore. Third of all, I took away the police role because you were throwing a tantrum when Heavenly was doing the Nazi jokes, and you were going balls to the walls insane in the server as a whole. Fourth of all, I didn't replace you. You did that all to yourself. With the goodbye letter you made to me in our DMs. Therefore, your argument?
Resulting me not to be SSB's friend anymore. That's why I hate her, both of them. They're just controlling me. They only want to be alone. That's why I'm like a ghost after I threatened her.
Bro, you saying that we were the ones controlling you is hilarious. Not to mention, you're trying to get your way to get me to change the age of CJ. Twice. Not to mention that this screenshot was me saying I'll change it, and then not even a few hours later, you tell me to not forget his age next time, but he's my character, not yours. Again, I can do whatever the fuck I want with him.
And that's how I think about her.
How? Seriously, how do they control you?
They made me live in loneliness, and I accept it. The truth is, loneliness is okay. It seems like you guys wouldn't talk to me anymore. I'm like a ghost. That's what I need all my life in this internet world is an apocalypse, where nobody was around with me anymore. Soon, I'll leave you guys.
Wait, no.
It's true. I don't get to talk to strangers that I don't know.
The fact that she said we made her live in loneliness is insane. She basically did this on herself. And the fact that she guilt-tripped the pond in one sitting is crazy. What will I do without you, then?
I don't know. Caddy, can we talk about this in private? But don't cry, okay?
Spoiler alert! Caddy and Ricka broke up after that massive blowout Ricka had at Taco Bell. Bro, I don't even know where to begin about this shit. The fact that she wanted to start a war on me, that's new. It's not like I had a war with someone from Russia because they added me into their cringe comps. Also, the fact that Caddy asked the question to Ricka about me making death threats to her, it's funny how I didn't make the threats, but she was threatening to start a war and a fight with me. Also, pushing out the fact out to the pond that she's not allowed to talk to strangers is funny, because her mom in the screenshot she took said that she's 17, not 7. And then she outright talks like a 7-year-old anyway? Like, what? Then she goes out of her way to delete her Discord, never to be seen again, until Facebook and Twitter happened. From what Caddy told me, Ricka's on Facebook, and from there, she still gushes and rants about me, and I'm surprised that she's still saying many, many things about me on Facebook. And she still calls me Skylar instead of my real name that she said in that whole rant. Stop calling me Skylar, for fuck's sake! After all that, Ricka was never heard from again, and I've forgotten all about those times for a while. Hell, I use they them pronouns now, despite all the things that happened, though I still allow people to refer me as a she her, but most of my friends use they them, which I don't mind either, to be honest. Rick is gone from Discord, so that means we could celebrate, correct? Heavily mistaken.
Damn, I messed up. We gotta go ball, fam.
I do want to mention the document of their side of things will be in the description below. So if you want to read it for yourself, go right ahead. So on with this part. About Ricka being off of Discord was a huge lie. Remember that one thing Fire said about Ricka coming back on her words? It's like she's the female version of William Afton, but he's a whiny little bitch that guilt trips people into manipulating them to think his ideas are amazing. She always comes back! This document was made by the people in a Discord server called Flipline Addicts. FA, or Addicts for short. They have a lot of things that Ricka has done on that server, and yeesh. Over the past years, with having to deal with her shit and her leaving us as a whole, she did not change at all. The first category, they stayed off headcanons. She makes stereotypical DID headcanons for Cooper, a playable character from the Papa's Pancakeria, even after they told her about DIT stereotypes, demonizing a WLW couple for the sake of giving Cooper trauma, makes headcanons about Cooper assaulting all of the chefs and being sent to jail as well as excusing his actions, tried forcing said headcanons onto people, infidelizing Cooper and low-key making Cooper act really possessive over Prudence, another playable coworker from Papa's Pancakeria. It sounds like she's continuing. The forcing things onto other people hasn't changed. But all of the other things that I just read out, what in the ever-living fucknut? Here are some screenshots to prove their points with those. Again, these are in the document, so if you want to read that, it's in the description.
But they can be hard to read on mobile. If you're on mobile, sometimes the screenshots get really crusty and they're hard to read.
I will show this piece of art that she made of Prudence getting a letter from Cooper when he went to jail, mind you. Here's what that message says.
Hello, Prudence. If you're reading this and I'm not around, it means I'm taking my leave from work. Meaning you won't be seeing me for a long time. You're right. You deserve Trishna better. And maybe you're better off without me either. After all, you are independent and free, and no longer rely on me now. I'm sorry for being a total jerk to you, and I'm sorry for not talking to you after so long. And even accept my apologies, that is alright. I don't know how long I will ever come back to Pancakeria, but as long as you're fine without me, the longer it takes for me to return. Thank you for being a co-worker for a long time until the very end, but it's time for me to accept who you are now and let go. I hope you and Trishna both have a wonderful time together as now lovers and best friends. You're truly changed to become a better and independent woman because of her, and I have no other choice but to accept and move on and become a better person. Don't want I'm on leave if he's asking you. I'm going somewhere where I can move on. Besides, at least I'm a lot happier with Sienna, and you're a lot happier with Trishna. The Prudence I know may be gone, but I'd rather accept this instead of denying it. May your future alone with Trishna grow happy and strong. May. Goodbye, Cooper.
Doesn't that sound guilt-trippy up the ass?
There's also a lot of other instances where she'd force clothing headcanons on Cooper. To me, Cooper would not be the kind of guy to wear black. Look at him. He's the American flag! In the document, she tried to abruptly stop discussion about LGBTQ headcanons and say weird stuff about them.
Ain't that familiar?
To be fair, I'm not the type of person to overuse the power of sexual orientation and transgender stuff.
but I'd rather keep things balanced. Though I do support LGBTQ+, I'm not the type of person to overuse my power on it. I can headcanon certain customers to be trans, but I'm not sure who. God, you guys are always overusing the power of LGBTQ+, while I'm like the only one using it normally. And so, gee, you know what? That's it. Abuse this power relentlessly all you want.
So, she's still homophobic. That's good to know. Despite you saying that you support LGBTQ+, even though in the past you said my server was full of abusive gays like Max, it's laughable that you just outright admitted that after that whole fun fest, like, Jesus Christ, that was... Oh, you're a hypocrite!
Alright, that's enough for now.
No, it isn't?
Jessica. Fine.
I think we can do whatever we want, actually.
I'll come back when the overuse of power is done.
Why are you like this?
The fact that she still talks the same as the past is laughable. Oh my god. Then she comes back while the Addicts were still discussing queer headcanons.
Is it me? Or why am I the only normal person who supports and makes LGBTQ headcanons like making LGBTQ headcanons in a normal and not so crazy way?
It's insane how she's still homophobic on a different server. Like, bro, let people do what they want, and then everything will be all sunshine and rainbows. You don't have to be a mom figure to everyone in the Discord server and say that you're making every headcanon balance when you're over there being homophobic as hell. Then there's a separate section in the document where she demonizes Prudence, the most innocent looking female in any Papa Louie game ever known to exist. And for what?
Trying to make an independent woman as evil as possible.
Prudence does not look like the face of evil. You see this girl right here? She's evil! A friend of the person who made this document mentioned that over-independence is caused by trauma, which means Ricka is villainizing someone who is probably traumatized. It's worse considering she always babies Cooper because he was traumatized himself. It also mentions in the document that Cooper also treats Prudence like garbage and like she is his therapist without any consequence. But whatever Prudence ever so slightly treats Cooper like crap, she is the most awful creature in the world. And ending that topic off, we go into the category where she downright guilt trips people. Good to know that she's guilt tripping everyone. Oh boy. I don't know where to start off with this, considering that she's been like this before with like all of us, but the fact that she's still doing it to teenagers nonetheless, it's mind-boggling.
Fine. You know what? I'm starting to see her as a mean girl to Cooper now. I'll change the personality headcanon of Prudence later. After that, I'm taking a break from coming here until I'm good now. Updated personality headcanon. Now, I don't see Prudence the same way ever again. Some of you are so fine with Prudence being a mean girl, and guess what? I ship Tristan's now, and I take a break from coming to the Headcanon channel. Heartbreak emoji.
And just like Fire said, she comes flocking back to the channel. I'm telling you, she's William Afton. She always comes back.
Just do it, please. Hurt Cooper as much as you want. I'm done taking a break. I may support girls' love, and yet I'm already shaking now. I wish you guys would draw Prudence and Tristan's proudly hurting Cooper. Heartbreak emojis. I'm shaking now.
Get off of Discord and calm down if you're genuinely upset. / lighthearted / genuine.
I never wanted to do that pink monster again. I'm already crying, watching one of my faves be cruel.
I'm trying to be positive here. All I'm trying to spread is kindness and love, like my Prudence interpretation would do.
Why are people saying Prudence being mean? She's never a nice person anymore. Tristan's a mean girl, GL dynamic. I need to get off this channel now, guys. I'll just cry and please don't comfort me. I got used to this whole mean girl stuff now.
Hugs.
Why are you hugging me? Don't you hate Cooper? Because Prudence hates him. Asterisk sighs. Just forget what I said. I just have no words anymore. Fine then, in that case, Trisha X Prudence for the win. Now go take them, and then it's real. Now go and take it then. It's real.
Don't even get me started on the angst-filled comic that she made with Papa Louie pals. It's so cringe.
The world is nothing but a cruel, cold, and unfriendly place where people in this world will treat you unfairly. Each turn worse than the last, becoming more painful. People you seem like their own puppeteer, bound to their control, using love to their advantage of controlling you. Foolish people can't ever learn with any hard work. No matter how hard they try to prevent it, only be betrayed and abandoned at the last moment. Meanwhile, he gets comfort and affection from girls, whether he likes it or not.
Can we point out the fact that Trishna is saying Big Mommy Trishna? Also, the character behind Cooper is her character. I knew she was blonde. Also, making the comic, she has this to respond.
She's still a minor though, and like, making her say that is still really weird.
Alright, fine, but I'm not doing it again.
Thumbs up emoji.
Now Cooper's gonna suffer more trauma with no one to help at all. Since no one is going to help him, so there.
I didn't say anything about making Cooper suffer more. I'm just saying that making the conscious decision to make a teenage girl call herself mommy is weird.
That's what I'm saying! Like, that's not what Jamie was trying to get at, like, at all! They just thought that Trishna calling herself mommy was weird, because most of these characters in the Poppy Louie world are seen as teens or young adults. It's so fucking weird, like, never bring that to my presence. Wait, what does that next category say? Oh god, I was right about her having a fetish! I can't believe I'm seeing this. She has a borderline fetish for things. She would post content of Cooper licking Sienna like a cat, and multiple things involving Mitch and farting. Can someone explain to me? What did Mitch do?
Fart alignment chart! Fart alignment chart! Fart alignment chart!
There will also be instances where she'll post Cooper having cat-like behaviors because it mentions later on the document that Cookie, Cooper's cat, is a bad influence on him and makes him start acting like a cat. She'll post things like Cooper getting angry at the fact that he couldn't have the Maple Morning Palita with maple syrup dip because the person working there says that they don't celebrate Maple Mornings and they celebrate Pirate Bash instead, leading Cooper to make angry Catman noises. That, and there's another image of Cooper carrying Greg like a cat. Dude, this is giving Stupid Cat Syndrome a bad name. Oh, what's this? She tried twisting the narrative and smearing the document creator's name in a event post on Instagram? Wow! It's not like she did that before with me! If I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't want to read this vent thing word for word. So, I'm gonna have text-to-speech do it for this one. Cause, Christ, it's so ugly.
Forgive me, but I need to vent this out. I'm already sick and tired of such behaviors from those two people. I don't want to mention their names at all. This is a cry for help. I don't deserve this anymore. Don't ask which server or who.
I wanted to express this situation I've been going through and let it out with a heavy heart. Although I have recovered from my panic attacks, I still have these horrible thoughts flowing through my mind. It has something to do with what I've been going through. And I've wanted to tell this for so long. I don't want to hold back with silence any longer. On July 16th, I was banned from a certain server for my recent behavior, and the mods told me to take a long break from the server. If they really want me to take a break from the server, they should have just kicked me out and slash or tell me to leave so I can take a break. but they took the heartless decision of banning me, and now I'm already scared of joining there again even after my ban is lifted. I'm already scared that if I mess up one more time, I'm done for.
In the document, it reads, before her ban, people in Flipline Addicts, including Ahmad, told her to take a break. She in fact agreed to the break, only to come back a few hours or a day later.
The truth is, this very behavior was the result of two heartless people who are mean-spirited to me and made me uncomfortable with their behavior. I've fallen victim to them and their childish behavior of how they treat me and my favorite characters. This all started ever since the first few days in server. When I posted a picture of Willow and Prudence with swapped themes, one of the members there started making these stupid "she murders men" jokes. Why joke about murder? It made me really uncomfortable. Isn't Prudence a good innocent girl? Then why did you say she definitely murder men? Another even made this dumb message of threatening Cooper on a gunpoint, and I tried to make them stop, but they wouldn't stop until they successfully kill him. This one made me uncomfortable too, worse than the other. He's a fictional character, and yet this type of action caused huge discomfort to me. No one should joke about gun threats. The same childish person kept remixing some of my Cooper stuff by exploding them, which I'm only making cute and wholesome content with him. It made me really uncomfortable too, the fact they did this to make fun of me. I tried to ignore them, but they kept making me feel uncomfortable. They always come at me to make fun.
She puts behaviors in quotations considering all of the stuff happening, and also tries to blame her behavior on the two people who made the document, even though they had nothing to do with it. And whatever she did was on her own accord. Also mentioning being uncomfortable with their behavior, the next paragraph was multiple people who made jokes like that. Ricka also never told anyone the jokes were making her feel uncomfy. In fact, she did the opposite and played along. I'm having fun reading this. Okay, I forgot to read this bit in the script that I was reading. So I'm gonna try and do my best with recording this half of the script that I forgot to read. Whoops. The same thing can go for the Cooper thing. This is what she was talking about on screen. The document writer does agree that it was a bad joke on their end, but like last time, she didn't tell them she was uncomfy, and instead egged them on. Which gives her no right to cry on Instagram, saying that these jokes made her feel like that when she didn't tell them how said jokes made her feel. They also admit that Ricka fails to mention that they stopped doing that after she told them to, but then words it to make it seem like they purposefully made her uncomfortable when they did it because they thought it was funny. The audacity of this woman, I swear.
I got tired by the fact the very same person who kept remixing and blowing my content always joke about killing customers just for fun, even if they're fictional, and seeing Cooper as a criminal in the form of a joke. Those jokes are horrible, and I got so tired already. It's too much to bear this pain now. I know they're fictional characters, but the way they do that to them is already too much for me to handle. I already got traumatized by them spamming a mugshot drawing of Cooper with tired, helpless eyes as if they see Cooper as a jailworthy criminal who don't deserve forgiveness at all. And I can't get it off my head. One even asked the other to draw Prudence to hit Cooper with a baseball bat brutally. As if they wanted blood and violence, they only care about hatred and violence. It's not something to joke about. For love and peace, they shouldn't do this, as it make other members uncomfortable, including me. And yet, they did things so horrible just for fun that it make me uncomfortable, making me not wanting to stay anymore. I got so tired of them, their influence is too much, as it already affected me thanks to their bullying behavior. Because of them, I ended up viewing Prudence as a mean-spirit girl who only cares about her dog, Mom, and Trishna. Nobody else.
Is she being a sensitive little bitch again?
She's the one who saw Cooper as a criminal, and not the people in Addicts. Here's a mugshot drawing of Cooper that Dottie made,
as a joke because of how weird Ricka's version of Cooper was. Though Ricka's right about them seeing Cooper as a jail-worthy criminal who doesn't deserve forgiveness, in which she also said from the screenshot. Ricka points out that they asked Dottie to draw Cooper being beaten up with a baseball bat when they were joking. Bitch, don't come in here and cry wolf, because you did the exact same thing. Also, how did you miss the tone tag on that question? What the fucking moose cake?
And not to be rude, I'm sick and tired of their repetitive behavior and fetishes already. I'm sick and tired of them abusing their power. How come nobody stopped them for doing such things? I let their influence get the best of me, and as a result, this led me to this kind of behavior, which led me to meet my inevitable end. Thanks to them. I bet these heartless monsters are happy that I'm just to let me suffer with my trauma from the impact of their ruthlessness and mean-spirited behavior. I never asked to suffer from their behavior and influence towards me, and now I've been silenced forever, left with nothing but injustice. I am a human, but I felt like a puppet in a punching bag to the very two people who always made fun of me using their fetish tactics and abuse of power, along with their intrusive thoughts of making any fictional character a criminal worth to kill for fun and viewing a sweet innocent woman in pink as a spoiled mean girl type bitch who hurt her own co-worker and get away with it. I am a victim of their horrible behavior.
She is talking out of her ass like she did in the past! She's projecting the times she got called out for her weird content onto them. And here's where her age comes into play. The people writing this document is 15 and the other is 16. You wanna know how old Ricka is? 21. She is the same age as me by a smidge. And she's acting like a 7-year-old. She's the one who could have put her foot down and stopped interacting with them. Also, seeing her guilt trip and manipulate a bunch of minors is like bad? Especially since she's an adult and everyone else is like 15 or 16 in this situation. Like, what the fuck? And then she goes off saying that they see Prudence as a mean girl, which they don't. Hell, I don't even see her as a mean girl. I see Prudence having Fluttershy energy. Like, look at that face and tell me 9 times over that she wouldn't have that type of energy. Halfway through the vent, I'm a fish.
They should have been the one to be banned, not me. And the mods didn't do anything about their behavior sooner. They should have corrected them and called them out. But then they silenced me instead. They told me to take a break from the server, for the sake of my mental health. If it weren't for these two monsters, I would have stayed in peace with comfort in that server without making me cause all of this to happen. They should have been the ones to be banned. Their behavior should not be tolerated. It's making people uncomfortable.
Multiple people have talked about her, saying that her behavior makes them uncomfy. Hell, even back then, when I had to deal with her shit, I was getting uncomfy myself, but I didn't have the guts to tell her what she was doing was making me and the others uncomfortable. God, I think I just found my people! Oh, say your spirit!
Now I no longer see Prudence as a sweet, kind-hearted girl anymore, and I no longer want to see her nor draw her ever again. And I'm already scared to go back to that server again. I blocked these two people so they'll never torment me again with their so-called jokes that make me uncomfortable. I hate them so much. I really hate them so much. I've got panic attacks because of them and almost nobody cares. I wish Prudence wasn't the chef at the first place. I no longer like her anymore because of how these two merciless people see her and throw those stuff right at me. I wish these toxic monsters are gone. I want them gone.
I don't deserve this injustice! I don't deserve this silence! I don't deserve it to feel uncomfortable!
Mark my words. This will be the last time I'll be talking about that blonde-haired woman wearing pink, and I will no longer draw her nor talk about her ever again. I hope these two heartless people will feel remorse one day. I will never forgive them. I will never forgive them at all.
They told Ricka
numerous times that they don't headcanon Prudence as a mean girl. Also, this is a 21-year-old writing this, by the way, and this is a 21-year-old talking about how this 21-year-old needs to grow the fuck up and stop having beef with a 15 and 16-year-old.
She also lied about them to other Addict members.
Don't tell anyone I said this, but just keep this a secret. It was Jamie and Prudence, and their behavior went too far, and they didn't play nice to me. I started during my first day of staying with Flipline and the Addicts server. I'm uncomfortable with both of these people, and they just can't stop sounding mean and messing around with me for fun. Jamie is a lot worse for me. First, they kept remixing some of my Cooper content and blew them up. They even made these horrible jokes about killing characters.
She also made a document? How smelly is it? She sent the document to other members of Addicts, and the doc made Jamie, the person who made the document that I was reading off of, even more pissed off than the Instagram story she did. Texas Page! Get back in here! Your job isn't done yet!
Hello! I read your post and I would like to say thank you for the kind advice. Light blue heart emoji. It's nice of you. Although I want to clarify this situation, I would rather have to explain this in the end. If that's fine with you, I suggest reading the whole thing so you understand. The proof of the situation can be found in the only proofs I have. Yes, I was banned from the Flipline Addicts server all because of Jamie, as hands and Prudence, also known as Disco Hater, manipulating me to do these uncomfortable things, including their fetishes to others with their stupid headcanon towards me and their uncomfortable jokes. In addition, I felt forced to ship Trishna and Prudence, just to satisfy them. I did block them, yet I wish Discord would remove this one thing that lets other users still see my message despite blocking them.
Oh my god. She states the fetish thing to the sky and says Jamie and Dottie were manipulating her into making fetish content and sending it into Addicts. That bitch fart alignment chart from earlier was because someone else made a fart alignment chart of all of the Scarlet and the Shakers, not them. The fact that I just read that is making me tweak a little too hard. There's evidence of her seeing that chart too! Oh my fucking god!
Although there are some same-sex ships that I like She Fairy X Moonlight, Alan X Rocky, Lose Amity. I have my preferences and I don't ship Tristans to be fair. But I fear if I ever tell them that I don't ship them, they may attack me. I ended up being called out many times because of their manipulation and their behavior affecting me, and they should have been the ones to be called out for their behavior, not me. I don't quite understand how are they still not banned for their disgusting behavior.
The only evidence supporting her is that she was like, oh, I felt like I was forced to ship Tristan's claim is the message Dottie sent as a joke. Everything Ricka did was on her own accord, and no one manipulated her to do or say anything to make her think of those things. Jamie and Dottie aren't the ones who made fart alignment charts of Papa Louie characters. They also weren't the ones who made a scene in Papa Louie Pals about Cooper licking Sienna.
And about the Prudence drawing I made in my recent art. Sadly, that one is the last time I'll be drawing her since I was unable to finish the part for all of the female chefs of Papa's Gunerias before this ban happened due to school. It's a way to cope and move on from the situation I've gone through. But hopefully, one day, when I'm fine with her again, I'll draw her the way I see her again, with no discomfort. As for now, I stopped drawing her and talking about her for now, to calm myself down.
Here's her admitting that she doesn't have proof.
I wish I had most of the proof of messages they have sent to me from the Flipline Addicts server, but sadly I was unable to retrieve them before the ban. But the pictures I sent you are the only proofs I have. However, I would kindly suggest it would be best not to go against the Flipline Addicts server nor bring this situation up there, as it may spark drama, which I'm telling you for your safety and mine. Yet I thank you for your kindness and support to me, and I must say, this advice lifts my spirit. You could leave this to the admins and mods, since they've been watching over the server for years, and hopefully those two will get banned and learn from their mistakes and grow up, cause I'm already fed up by their behavior.
I'm sensing a pattern. It's funny how she told the person she sent this to like not bring this up in the Addicts server. It's like how she didn't want me to vent about the farewell message she sent me. Also, the Addicts server has 40 plus people who were active there, as it could spark drama, yet she brings it up on her public Instagram and Twitter for all to see. Hypocrisy strikes again!
About the investigation, you could just observe their actions. Jamie is far worse than Prudence, since they always love to spit out stuff like they want their favorite character, Marty, to die brutally thinking he deserves it, or saying things like wanting to see Prudence brutally beat Cooper with a bat.
Love it when she brings up Jamie joking about wanting their favorite character to die, as if that's a valid thing that could get them banned, as if multiple people don't do that to their favorite characters. That's like me saying I like to see Faniverse Blake getting brutally tormented by Faniverse Glitchy, which I don't, but it's part of his story anyway, but, like, Faniverse Glitchy's a bitch, so...
One more thing, if you ever have a chance to go to that server and notice any one of the two people, Jamie and Prudence, doing these uncomfortable things, it would be advisable to report them to one of the Flipline Addicts server admins or mods, like, send them a report ticket or something. They may be joking, but even their jokes can go too far and make others comfortable, so keep an eye out if they ever make a violent joke or wish that on anyone. Just be sure not to mention me to them.
At least she's right about reporting issues to an Addicts mod. But then again, if someone is genuinely uncomfortable with a joke any of the people in Addicts made, they should tell them, which Ricka never did! So, don't try to twist the narrative next time, and admit to your own faults, Ricka, 'cause Christ, you did it with these guys, and you also twist the narrative on me and Fire, which is something you like doing apparently, and it's not right at all. I'm 21, you're 21, but you're acting like a kid that wanted a Barbie dream house, but mom couldn't afford Barbie's next mansion. Oh boy! We made it through the big-ass document! Shout out to Jamie and Dottie for making the document, by the way. Like, holy. Glad to read this and get more information on things now than in the past. What the fuck is that? I've never wanted to jump back to this topic since I've talked about it beforehand on my previous channel, but since that document, I thought I'd be thoughtful and push out the message farther for Dottie and Jamie. Saying that Ricka hasn't changed since 2020 was a wild ride. Probably even more wild than getting Flutter on the first floor of Dandy's World. It's truly mind-boggling to me that someone who's the same age as me, who was my very first girlfriend to my very first ex because of me being female due to confusions with myself, and then unfriending me because I wouldn't change an age of my character, act like this. I've seen worse when it comes to VR chat troll videos, but this is the icing on the cake! Before I close the video, I do want to say this. If you're watching this, Ricka, which I don't know why you would be watching this, because you hated my guts back then, but I do want to say this. Please grow a pair of boobs. And grow up. The fact that 2 teenagers had to make a full-fledged document on you because you've acted like a complete jerk to everyone in the Flipline Addicts server is insane. And you manipulating everyone to go with your headcanons is not mildly, but concerningly insane. And since you do claim me as a best friend, I do heavily suggest you get help, because the things you're doing as of right now ain't working. Hot crossed buns. Thank you all for watching.
Sorry that this is the first episode of this series of Let's Talk and my thoughts, but since this topic got brought up again with a few different people in the Papa Louie community out of all things, I just had to talk about it. Thank you to Dottie and Jamie for the document, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video and all that jazz. Thank you, and good night.